Hello, I hope you are all doing well. I am sorry that I was not able to be in class on Monday. I've decided to make a video guiding you through steps 1 to through 3 in case you need the help. So let's begin. For step 1, you are going to pick a character and one of his or her monologues from either the excerpt from The Tragedy of Romeo and Juliet or from Antigone. Now, both of these texts are on Google Classroom. So let me go to Google Classroom and show you. The excerpt of Romeo and Juliet is on August the 31st. So if you click on it, you will see the reading. And then Antigone, you would find it, the monologues you would find on the assignment September 24th, and you will click on the reading as well. Now, the two main characters that deliver monologues, and a monologue is a dramatic speech said by one character in a drama. The two characters that do this are Antigone in Antigone, and Lady Capulet in the excerpt from Romeo and Juliet. Now, Antigone has a variety of monologues to choose from, so I've provided you with the lines in case you need help to find them, and you only need one, okay? And then Lady Capulet, her monologue is in line 154. So you go ahead and pick the play that you find the most interesting, and then pick the monologue that you want to work on. And you could either just write it on your document so that you know what the reading is and what line you should be looking at, or the line that you're going to start looking at. Once you're done identifying your monologue and your character, then you will move on to step 2. For step 2, all that you are doing is completing the sentence frames that I provided you. So for example, say that I chose Lady Capulet. Then I would say the character I chose is Lady Capulet. I chose this character because it could be, this is your reason. So it could be because you like Romeo and Juliet, or because you like Antigone, you find her interesting. It's whatever you think. The monologue I chose is about, so here you would have to have read the monologue, or reread since we already read it, and then explain what it was about. So for example, Lady Capulet's monologue is about when she is saying that because her cousin Tybalt was killed, Romeo should be killed in revenge as well. So then I would write, the monologue I chose is about Lady Capulet's belief that for the blood of Tybalt, the blood of Romeo should be shed. And then I think this monologue shows, what do you think the character's words say about how the character feels about the situation he or she is at? So in the example of Lady Capulet, I think this monologue shows that Lady Capulet feels it would be unfair for Romeo to not be punished for the killing of her cousin Tybalt. That would be an example. If you notice, there are some highlighted sections, and I will tell you why after. And then you move on to completing the table. You are using the monologue that you picked in order to fill out the 3 boxes. For the first one, you are paying attention to the things that the character says, in particular the words that the character says that are important for you to be able to analyze the character. So for example, for Lady Capulet, the lines that would be important to note would be when she says, for blood of Capulet, blood of Montague should be shed. Not the exact same words, but something along those lines. And then for things the character does, if there are any actions in the monologue, then you will write what are those actions, like if Antigone is walking or if a character is crying, etc. And then the inferences, conclusions. This is the really important part because it's your interpretation about what the words and actions, what you have in these two boxes, tell you about the character, her intentions, her beliefs, etc. So in this case, going back to Lady Capulet, the words that I had mentioned about the blood of Capulet being paid with the blood of Montague, I could say these words let me know that she believes in fairness, even if it has to do with murder. Or I could also say that that Lady Capulet is a revengeful woman based on those words. And then step 3, you're gonna look back at your monologue, um, highlight any sensory details that you find to help you convey the character to your audience or how the audience sees her. And then you could write the words here if you find anything you could see, hear, smell, taste, etc. Now, for the next part, to fill out this table, what tone does the monologue have? So what type of mood do those words, the words that you determined, either sensory details or the words in your first box, what type of mood do they create? You may use this website to help you. I don't think you have it in your document, but you are welcome to pause the video and go to it. You could use more than one tone as well. And then, who is your character speaking to? In the monologue, they are both speaking to themselves, so it would be herself. And then, what are their motivation? Why is the speaker delivering this speech? Are they trying to convince themselves about something? Are they trying to make a decision? That's what you would write here. So, for example, for Lady Capulet, I believe that she was trying to convince herself of her beliefs before she would speak to the prince about what she wanted him to do for justice. Next step is to answer the following questions. What makes the character you chose complex? Does the character undergo an important change as the plot unfolds? So, in other words, does the character have a major change in personality? Like, where did they start as innocent and then turned corrupt, or did they start as bad and then they turned good, or vice versa? Does the character have a variety of traits of and different sides of their personality? So if does the character have more than one adjective to describe their person, like brave, insecure, strong, betrayed? And then the last question, how does your complex character advance the plot and develop the theme in the drama? In other words, what does the character have to do with the events in the story, and how is she a part of the main message of the story? So to connect back to my example of Lady Capulet, I would say that she seems like a strong woman who she believes in her ideals very strongly, um, and she also feels that her family is not being treated fairly. And then for the second part, how is she part of the theme of the excerpt of Romeo and Juliet? The excerpt that we read was about the fight between Tybalt, Romeo, and Mercutio, and what would happen, who started the fight, and for what reason. So in this case, she adds to it because she claims that Romeo killed Tybalt out of malice and that he should be punished as a result. Okay, so that would be the 3 steps that you have to complete. And then for step 4, you could watch the other video that is specially for creation of your outline.